Hello once again, Star Wars and unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and today, as you can see, a few more items arrived in the mail. But before we get to those items, I do want to kind of point out a little, some spoils of war here that we found, or should I say spoils of Star Wars, that we found in a non-toy hunt trip to Walmart, where I was simply going in to pick up some Halloween candy for the 0 trick-or-treaters that we had. Go figure. But I came across a few goodies. I came across things like this Shadow Trooper VC-163. As you can see, they have started releasing the new waves of this. Okay, I'm going to kind of slide myself this way so that I can put close-ups over here on my right, your viewer's left, I guess it is. Okay, so that one was great. Of course, as you know, I do not unbox the vintage carded ones. I try to keep at least one of those. I feel like here's the Jawa number VC-161, and I feel as though the vintage collection is kind of like the definitive collection, the definitive figure that they're going to release. I'm sure 10, 20 years from now, who knows. But in terms of the Kenner style released cards, I do feel that the Jawa and the Shadow Trooper and all the ones that came out in this series. Now, a lot of these are repacks from previous releases, or maybe they've been retooled, and I'm okay with that. This is kind of like going to end up being probably what's going to be my one carded collection, is the vintage collection. Everything else will probably end up becoming loose. Most of them have already. Here's Princess Leia Organa from Yavin with the medal. Okay, there you go there. And again, I'll put some close-ups in. And in addition to those, I saw these and I thought, oh, do I really want to buy these? And I did. These are the Star Wars Commemorative Edition Skywalker Saga. And I do believe they're going to release 9 sets of these, of 2. You know, like a 2-pack, 9 of them for each of the saga movies. We have this one, which I believe is Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight and Chewbacca from Return of the Jedi. Now, of course, I don't know how I feel about these. I understand that they're essentially just other released figures. Looks like even just 5 POA figures that they have just painted over gold. So yeah, isn't that interesting? But still, I feel like, you know, the saga, there aren't too many things that they're doing, you know, it's celebration of the whole saga. So I figured this is something we can, you know, get behind. There's not too many of them. So that's one thing I like, that I know it's finite. 9, that's it. So that's the Return of the Jedi one. And then, of course, with that, we have to have the Empire Strikes Back one, which is Han Solo and Bespin and Leia. Again, I'll get close-ups of all these. And then A New Hope. We have the Stormtrooper, and we have Darth Vader, 1977. Now, I will say this. All of the figures have a really cool, and again, I'll get some shots of them in the back, too. All of the figures have a really cool scene, like almost like a collage scene on the back, and I think that's really, really neat. So that's a nice little additive to it. All right, in addition to that, I wasn't even done there. I also picked up the Black Series Wedge Antilles figure. Very, very, I guess you could say, you know, coincidence maybe, but it feels so fortuitous that I found this figure the same week I found out that actor Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge Antilles in the original trilogy, and who's my favorite character outside from the main characters, is going to be returning in the Rise of Skywalker. I certainly hope that is true. I certainly hope that, although it has been confirmed by sources close to the actor Dennis Lawson, I am very excited about that. I feel as though they have really done a good job in the sequel trilogy of bringing back everyone who makes sense to bring back, including ancillary characters. And if they're going to do that and not have the only other surviving Rebel pilot from the first destruction of the Death Star, but also the one who actually helped with Lando take down the second Death Star. I know that they asked the actor to be in the original, or to be in Episode 7, and I believe he flat out said, no, it's a glorified cameo, I don't want it. And apparently somebody must have won him over, so he's back for Episode 9. So there you go. In addition to that, we have Luke Skywalker Yavin Ceremony. It's funny. It's VC, or it's Black Series number 100. Wow. And it's a damaged box, which is great for me because it means we're opening them up. And lastly, from the not from the Mandalorian, from the Rise of Skywalker, we have Janna, okay, who's one of the new characters. Okay, so I will get these open in a little bit. But first, why don't we take a look at what we have here. We have 2 packages from Best Buy. Now, why do we have packages from Best Buy? Well, actually, folks, this is also in celebration of a little TV show that's coming out soon called The Mandalorian. And The Mandalorian is going to feature the character of IG-11, who looks suspiciously like IG-88 for those old school folks. And they have a Black Series figure of that, so we will do an unboxing of that. And in addition to that, Best Buy also had again, set up with the vintage style box, the Mandalorian AT-ST Raider. Oh my goodness. Look at how awesome this looks. Klatooinian Raider includes figure. So it actually includes an actual figure with this. So there you go. So we are going to do some massive unboxings right now, starting with our 4 Black Series figures. So I'm going to actually work on kind of unboxing them all at once, and then I'll just kind of showcase each one. So the Black Series seems to be, as we've said in previous episodes, seems to be the series that is taking over the collecting market. And I not only see this with the Star Wars figures, but I also see this with Avengers and other things, other characters, DC characters. It seems like there is just a very, very strong desire to switch over to the 6-inch, which I understand that from a playability factor, I really do. But I got to point out that there's we went to 3 3/4 inch back in the 70s, thanks to Bernie Loomis from Kenner, who decided that was how big they were going to be, so that there could be a vehicle market. And unfortunately, when you have 6-inch figures, they're similar to the Mego 8-inch figures in that it's very challenging to get anything other than small vehicles set up. So it is what it is, but we'll see what happens. So out of the gate here, we have Wedge Antilles. I'm going to put his helmet on just because I've only seen him without his helmet one time. Little fun known trivia. In the first movie, in New Hope, you saw the actor Dennis Lawson, but you did not hear him. His voice was not that of Dennis Lawson's. The voice was another actor, a voiceover actor, who provided ADR after the fact. And I do believe that Dennis Lawson did provide the voice, if not for Empire Strikes Back, he definitely did for Return of the Jedi. You can just kind of tell, I think. I'm not 100% sure. If you know for a fact, leave some comments about it, because I thought he did come back in for at least Return of the Jedi and he did provide his own voice, but I'm not 100% sure of that. All right, next we have Luke with his. Let me just put this over here. We have Luke in his Yavin outfit, and I've always was a little sad that I never got to see kind of Luke in action with this outfit. With the high cut, the rider boots and the stripes, the going down the side, and the gun is actually his blaster is in fact the same blaster as Leia, and the reason there are some pose shots of Mark Hamill kind of in this outfit, and you see him holding that same blaster. So pretty cool. He did have some adventures in the comics, I believe, utilizing the orange jumpsuit kind of jacket. Oh, this is fun. A bow and arrow in Star Wars. When do you ever see that? This is like really old, and a blaster, of course. So I get the sense. Ooh. Oh boy. All right, hang on a second. Okay, we have Houston. We have a problem here. All right, she is like glued, literally, to. There we go. Wow, the cape. I don't know if this cape comes off. I think it has a little clasp on the front. I'm not going to take it off. I just put it up for display anyway. People always joke about that with me. It's like, so you take them out of the box. Essentially, you made them worthless, monetarily speaking. And then what do? You put them on display. Why don't you just put them on display in the box? I said, well, you know, there's a reason for that. Because I don't have room for them in the box. So there. But I do have room for them loose. And I like to see them loose. And I do occasionally like to pick them up and check them out. All right. So we got... I don't know if she has a... Trying to figure out the best way to put her quiver. Gee whiz. She's got a lot of big hair, so a quiver is kind of challenging. Oh, I guess we can just do that too. My quiver. Yeah. Maybe it's in the... I'm not, you know what? I am honestly not sure where this should go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the quiver up in the back. Where's Hawkeye when you need him? Hawkeye, as in Hawkeye from that other huge franchise, the Avengers. But I'm a big Avengers fan too, folks. I just don't collect Avengers. People say that, you know, same thing with Star Trek. I'm, you know, big fan of Star Trek. I just don't collect Star Trek. So, all right. So you'll get some close-ups of this when I'm done here. And again, thank you for the holster. Thank you, Hasbro, for the holster, because the holster is the best place to put the gun. You put it in their hands, but chances are they're going to lose it. Okay, and then you've got your... Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. You can actually put the bow and arrow in the holster, in the thing, I think. Yeah. Well, that's neat. So I'll just kind of keep that there. All right. So wow, he's got a lot of accoutrements here. Jana, very curious to see how she what she ends up doing. There's all this talk about her being Lando's daughter, and she kind of was very cheeky about it in Celebration. I'm like, wouldn't Lando have a lot of children all over the galaxy? So I was like, aha. All right, but you know what? I'm okay with it either way. That's what people say. Like, some people are like, I don't want everybody in the Star Wars universe to be related to everybody else. And I said, I get that. I do. I really do. But at the same time, it's fun to theorize. That's all. It's just theorizing, people. So here's IG-11, a very similar looking character to IG-88. And my only issue with this character is the same with IG-88, is he doesn't really have a good way to hold the blaster. He just kind of, it just kind of sits there. So that's a bit of an issue. But other than that, I love the character. I think it's cool. In fact, I end up usually just kind of tucking the blasters kind of in his straps. It's exactly what I did with the other IG character. I'm going to take a look at this one versus IG-88. I mean, if they were almost identical, I'd understand that, because they're a droid. You know, it's not like they're designed to be identical. So, all right, and last but not least, the Mandalorian. I know all the people like keeping in box. What are you doing? But take comfort. I am keeping the box, and it will find a nice little place behind me, because I do enjoy the vintage looking toys, and I appreciate what the nostalgic feel of it, and that is good. So I'm all right with that. We have a head. We also have instructions and more instructions, although I'm sure some of this is no, okay. And we have something else. This is very similar in most respects to a standard ATST. I believe it's been commandeered by pirates or bounty hunters or mercenaries or some other interesting character. And we also have a Klatooinian. Kind of cool to see some vintage looking. A lot of people complain. I hear, not a complaint, I should say, somebody noticed that a lot of the new characters, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes, a lot of the new characters of the new sequel trilogy seem to go into brand new looks and are therefore not, there's no familiar characters. And I'm a mixed feeling on that. I agree that it seems like it's awfully weird that there's literally no new characters. But at the same time, I think for practicality purpose and for story purpose, it's a big universe. I mean, if we do, it's like the same people that say, why does everybody have to be related in Star Wars? Well, okay, no, not everybody has to be related, but at the same time, there's a galaxy this huge. There's probably quite a few characters. There's probably quite a few characters out there. A lot of aliens, a lot of different species. So it makes sense that there'd be new ones. And on top of that, 1, 2. All right. Oh wait. Okay. 2, 3. Ooh, interesting. Okay, 3. And 4. Anyway, yeah, so you'd imagine story-wise, yeah, there would not all be just, it wouldn't just be that, it just wouldn't do that. You would have a lot more of different aliens and different species in this universe, so that's one thing. And then for practicality purposes, well, let's talk dollars and cents. If they're going to want to sell toys, they need to have more characters. Now, I will say this. It has been pointed out by some very savvy people that we have not seen, unlike, Jabba's palace, or unlike, just making sure these are, unlike Jabba's palace and unlike the cantina, we have not seen a lot of those aliens in Maz Kanata's den, or in Canto Bight. We've not seen a lot of those characters released in action figure form. Yeah, I'm hoping that we do someday, but just not yet. It's very interesting. He's got like a lot of, they've got a lot more flexibility. Makes sense. Okay, and you got your, okay, what else we got? 5. Okay, there it is. All right. Oop. Get up there. Interesting. There you go. And then we have our figure, our Klatooinian. More than, several points of articulation, so that's cool. And it's got the same kind of thing in there. So, oops. Ooh, he lost his hoodie there. There you go. Actually, I think I'm actually gonna stand him in here, and then I'm gonna stick his head out of here. Wish it was Chewie, He doesn't want to stay in. I do remember them kind of creating this newer thing, and it does have a little bit more posability factors. But I also noticed that it's... Oh, yeah, you know what? Never mind. I can't sit him because he's too broad-shouldered. His chest and his shoulders kind of get in the way, so we'll just leave him there. All right, and there he goes. My only complaint about this is that it's a little harder to keep him posed the right way. But there you go. And he doesn't have the little walking feature like the original did, but, you know, head swivels, okay, that kind of thing. So you got some posability factors that you can use for that. So a nice toy. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's some action in the TV show. There's been some really cool trailers and footage released that it's really exciting. I think it's going to be a sleeper hit. I think a lot of people are going to buy into Disney Plus in an effort to watch this show, not to mention all the other stuff that Disney Plus is offering. So it's pretty cool. So that'll do it for this week's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. Again, thank you so much for all the subscribers. And yes, we are at this point, we may actually have passed my 1,000 subscriber mark. Once we hit 1,000, and again, as of this recording, I do sometimes record ahead. And as of the time I recorded this, we weren't quite there yet. Once we do, I did have one subscriber ask for a giveaway, and I'm putting something together that I'll do as a giveaway, but I want to get to 1,000 first, and maybe I'll do it on a live stream. Okay, maybe I will try my hand at that, or maybe something about leaving comments. We'll see. We got a lot more great episodes coming up. I got a couple of higher end items. One of them I almost accidentally unboxed today, so I want to wait on that. Actually, 2 high end items that I have in the waiting room, as it were, along with the holidays coming. So all the Hallmark ornaments we have to do unboxings for. We have to do our tree trimming party. So we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force be with you.